Hey, what's up, guys? No snippet available, huh? It's installing some updates here. So, I hope you had a good Halloween. I spent Halloween in jail. And it's a really bad jail. I had a warrant out because of going through divorce, and I had a protective order against me, and I got stuff transferred out of my name because I was moving out because I had to, and that was against the rules of the PO. I didn't know that, so they had a warrant out for me. It's really just a terrible thing. So I had to, I went and turned myself in, quote unquote, and I have to go to court, but I had to spend a day in jail. It was fucking miserable. It was like one of the worst experiences of my life. Treated me like an animal, and yeah, well, I'm out, and you know, life goes on, right? So we're gonna try to do some coding today. I started really late because, as usual, I always have other things that stop me from being able to code because that's just the way it is. But I'm gonna do an hour, and I'm gonna go eat dinner, and then I'm gonna try to muster up the energy to do some more hours after that, even though it's late, but it is what it is. Okay, so last time we worked on this, it was 3 or 4 days ago, and as you can see, I haven't been able to work on the project a lot lately. I went from working on it like almost every single day to 5 days in between. Then we had another 4 days in between, and then another like 4 days in between. So at this point, I'm just working on it like once every 4 or 5 days, unfortunately, which means at this rate, I'll never fucking finish it. You know. So, where were we last time? So last time we were removing Pygame code from the server side. We continued removal of Pygame code from server. We stopped at line 16 in things to do. So let's pick up. Set my time. Forgot to set it. And try to get some work done here. Okay, so let's go over to things to do. Close out all these other files. Okay, so we had current issue, fix crash bug, function dependency issue, must also import change attribute list into client to run dir check from server due to this rule. What the fuck does that mean? Like, what kind of language am I speaking here? Fix crash bug, function dependency issue. Okay, the function depends on, we have to import change attribute list into client to run dir check from server. Since it doesn't import it, despite importing it into server from the module it was defined in, it doesn't know what change attribute list. Okay, right, it has to. And okay, so we learned a new thing, and that was that whenever you import a function into a file and you import like something that the function uses into the file that's importing the function doesn't have access to that object unless you also import the object into the file where the function is defined. Because that just makes sense, right? No, I mean it doesn't really, but that's the way it works. It's a namespace thing. It doesn't know what the name is because it's not imported where the function is defined, and that's how Python works. So you have to go by the rules of Python, obviously. Okay, so what we have to do is let's see, what do we have to do here exactly? Let's figure this out. Hold on a second. Fix this chair really quick. And there we go. So we have an issue with change attribute list. Okay, so we have to import change attribute list into client, and I don't know why is that a problem. Why is that a problem? See, this is why it sucks when you take a few days off your project. You know, you come back and you don't remember, you know. Alright. Since it doesn't import it despite importing it into server from the modules defined, it doesn't know what change attribute list. Yeah, but why does it not have it imported? Did we not import this into client? We did something where we're removing like dead code and stuff, and we did something with like we removed some change attribute list import or something. I don't know, I can't remember exactly what I did, and it's really frustrating. So let's see if we can figure out exactly what I did so that I can fix it. Okay, so this is why, because we changed it to where if name is equal to main, import change attribute list, but whenever we import dir check from client and it runs this script, oh, and I'm pretty sure like couldn't we just move the import up to up right here just like that and always import it? I mean, that makes sense, right? Because if we always need it for dir check, I mean, then we need it for dir check, so we have to import it. And we only really need to run this SS or CS equal to CS in this clause because that's, we don't want it to get errantly changed whenever a name is not equal to main, which is when it's being run from the server side through import into server file. So yeah, there we go. We fixed this, I think. Now let's see if this fixed it. I'm maybe gonna put a note because that's stupid. Let's just actually test it and see if it works. So we're gonna do cd canasta main, and we're gonna go into the we're gonna run the server, and then we're gonna run the client, and we're gonna see what happens. See if we get a crash or whatever, but hopefully we can get something done here. Let's see. Type up the name, and I'm gonna have that 3-second delay. It's there to help, really, but I really hate having it because it screws up the flow of everything. So it looks like shit, but I don't care. I just want to finish it. No one cares about what it looks like. It's just to complete the fucking project so I can get a job. Alright, there we go. So J picked 7, M picked a 10. Now, let's go to the next step. See that card skipping right there. No one knows why that happens. It just started happening one day, and then there it was, boys. And you see how it's lagging and it looks terrible, and it's skipping across the screen at like 3 frames per second. Only God knows why it does that. I don't care. If I don't finish this project within the next 3 months, I'm just gonna, like, honestly, I'm just gonna, like, quit. I'm done with it. If I can't finish this project in 3 months, I'm literally done. I don't care. Like, I'm just gonna start applying for jobs with an unfinished project. I don't care at that point. It took too long. I wanted to move on to the next step to learn other things, and this, like, getting to the next step just took so long that God, it's a nightmare. It's just an absolute nightmare. Okay, so he's got a red 3, and why am I still running this? Just making sure we didn't have any new bugs. And yeah, let's just make a play real quick, because it takes forever because of the 3-second delay. Feels like it takes like 5 minutes. No, it does. It takes like 5 minutes just to make the first play of the game. So, you know, you're basically a snail, but the delay is there to help me debug the game. So I'm just going to leave it there until we get most everything worked out and I have more confidence in the flow of, you know, the project ability to run without the that delay, the buffer to protect. So it doesn't protect anything, it just helps me figure it out. So here we go. Moving on. Got king, queen, alright. These guys some attempted melds, blah blah blah. They're not gonna work. So it's gonna put them all back. It looks ugly as all get out because it just does, and it's just the way it is. I don't care. Okay, yeah, the melds are gonna get put back into your hand. Pygame is the dinosaur game engine anyway. I should have used like something like Godot or whatever, but Godot is weird anyway. Okay, well, alright, so everything plays back into the hand, and that is so ugly and messy. The way that the progression text goes through, it's terrible. But it worked. We didn't get any bugs. It didn't crash other than like just being ugly. It worked fine. So that's really what matters. Okay, so we fixed the bug. Yay. That was easy. Okay, so we can get rid of this and go back to what we were doing before, which was we were doing a Pygame object server-side search. And since disabling Pygame initialization on server-side, we now have to disable all Pygame-related code on the server-side. So we have to search through the project for all Pygame related objects, terms, references, etc. and add in code which either removes that code or which only runs it if we're running from the client side. And so we were doing term search and throughout the project looking for Pygame and rect objects. Looks like we were in the middle of Pygame when we got sidetracked into dealing with that bug, and only God knows where I stopped at in the review, so we'll just have to start all over. Start from the top because I didn't document it like I should have. And yeah, so when you make a mistake you have to pay the price. So here we go, we're gonna start from the top. Alright, so highlight rect, yeah, I remember this. We did put the documentation for verify don't need to check because it's why? I don't know. I can't remember why. What I was saying. Where is it? It's somewhere. Verify don't need to check SS or CS for this. And I'm an idiot because you know what? I should put this on the line that actually pertains to like what it's talking about, which is Pygame. So yeah, I should have put it right there. Verify don't need to check SS or CS for this. And why is that? Well, that's because I don't run this function if it's SS or CS. So it's like the logic is there to make sure it doesn't get run, blah blah blah. Same thing here. Assign card images and recs, we only run this if it's being run from the client side. Yeah, see, so we have the logic outside of it. Should we have the logic inside of it? Honestly, some of those questions are just arbitrary. You could say either. You could say either. You could say, oh, it should be outside. You could say, oh, it should be inside. It doesn't matter, as long as you know. So verify don't need to check SSCS for this. Since only runs CS. Since logic implemented to ensure only run on CS, and I spoke like a caveman there, but it's just like it's too many words in my project, too many lines, too much extra shit. I appreciate brevity at this point, just shorter is better. Alright, so why are we still looking up this? Because I forgot this, wait for the slow ass editor thing to run. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we took care of... See, I did it again. I'm an idiot. Didn't put it on the line that has to do with Pygame. And I don't even know if I'm talking about, like... Verify don't need to check SSCS. And it's like, well, why would we need to check that? Oh, because it's a Pygame thing, and we don't want Pygame to run on server side. I mean, you have to be in the know to know what I'm talking about, and guess what? The only person who works on the project is me. So, everyone that reads it's going to be in the know. Alright, so, assign face down image. This is going to be the same case. We have logic implemented outside of the function instead of inside of the function because it's more performant to not call the function instead of calling the function and then putting the logic inside of it, even though blah blah blah, it would probably be smarter to put the logic inside of it, you know. But all you have to do is a quick search. This Pygame video mode is on client, so we don't have to worry about that. Importing Pygame into custom append list, okay. And I don't like know why we need this because I don't like think we need this here because there's only one instance of Pygame. So like if we don't invoke the namespace and that's how you access things through the module is through the namespace, then that means we don't actually use it here. So just to verify that, we're gonna remove it because it's dead code, and now we're gonna go over here and we're gonna run the server, and then we're gonna go over here and we're gonna run the client, and we're gonna do the same thing on the third one. So now we got 2 clients running on the server. We're gonna wait for the slow ass progression because of the 3-second delay. Type in the 2 names, see who finishes first. There he went. J finished first. M is gonna be slow because only God knows why, and then it's gonna say some weird progression text like waiting for the other player to enter their name when it's not actually true. This should have been disappeared. Who cares? Doesn't matter. And there we go. Now, my boy drew a Skippy 5. He got us 2 that's skittering across the screen like it's being run on Windows 95 because code obviously. Alright. And we're just making sure that custom append list is still working after removing the input of Pygame to it. So we are that it works, and append list is like works with the hand and everything. If it would have crashed, it probably would have, but just to be diligent, do the right thing, and we'll just play. Works well, then we know I didn't break the code. So yeah, do you have to test after you change every line? Well, it depends. If you want to deal with a bunch of bugs, you don't have to test your code, and then you'll have a really fun time debugging. Or you can just test after pretty much every single thing that you ever change, and watch the 9 move across the screen at a snail's pace. You know, but right side, we get to know that it does work. That line change didn't break it. Okay, that delay is really long. Long delay. So we're gonna play cards. Duh. What else do? Okay, all of them are highlighted. We're just gonna spam that click play selected cards and watch the magic happen. So there we go. It's so ugly and it's just so terrible to look at. It's actually painful to look at, but it is what it is. Okay, putting this shit back. No, we don't want to use the wild card. Why would we do that? We're just trying to test this out. The meld's going to be put back in his hand. Yeah, because he doesn't have 3 in his meld, so they can't be played. Gotta have 3 in the meld. And it had some aces. Aces are worth a lot. So some wild. Okay, there we go. Everything works as it did. Bravo. Okay, so let's kill the server and close all these files. We'll go back up here, and of course I don't remember where I left off. Okay, it was custom append list, right, and we removed it, so that would have been after client, and then I guess this would be the next one. Alright, so we import Pygame here. Obviously we do need Pygame here. This file was one of the main ones that I wanted to change so that whenever we are accessing stuff like this through Pygame, well, we don't actually have to, it's not just Pygame stuff. It's a specific subset of Pygame actions, such as anything that requires drawing on the screen. So we might actually need this sprite group on the on the server side to update other data. I don't really know for sure, but I'm just not sure about this, whether we need it or not. I mean, it's only one line. Yeah, if we don't need it, we don't need it. If we do, we do. Like, if I don't need it and I comment it out, or not comment it out, but add it behind if name is equal to main, then, well, name wouldn't be main actually. In this case, we would say if I just got confused again. I'm like, wait a second. If we run a file that imports another file, then name is not going to be equal to main, right? So yeah, we don't check for that, dude. You're an idiot. We just check for if SS or CS is equal to SS. Or rather, if it's equal to CS. If it's equal to CS, then we would run it. If not, then we wouldn't. So let's just do a search real quick and we'll see. Open game dot card sprite group game card sprite group change layer. This is in display layer settings. So this would get set on the server side, and if we hadn't created it on the server side, well, then it wouldn't actually run this. Now, we don't actually have to have this run because changing the layer is for the display, and since we don't have the display on the server side, then we probably don't need it to be run on the server side. So, like, we could probably put this behind an if SS is if it's CS. Blah blah blah. Okay, so then we clear it. This we don't have to do unless we're on. Yeah, so all this stuff like doesn't need to get done on the server side. So we are gonna probably gate this off. Yeah, because this just has to do with setting the cards to dirty and stuff. This isn't card group data. I was thinking incorrectly at first, but I needed to review it anyway before I just decided that we didn't need it. But discarded feature sprite which executes proper dirty logic. We have a current card in game card sprite group. Okay. We set the card to dirty. Yeah, we won't need that on the server side. So this is basically just disabling a lot of code that doesn't need to be run on the server side. It's a liability. And yeah, all this stuff. All of it. Master deck in the game sprite group. Yeah, so this is just gonna be ugly though, honestly. Just this has turned into an ugly project, man. I don't. Ugly. Ugly project. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to check here. We'll say if change attribute list dot ss or cs. You know what I'm going to say is equal to cs. Then we would run this code. Otherwise, we would not run this code because then we would be running it from the server side, and we don't run it from the server side. Change attribute list ss or cs is equal to cs. We then check if self is in the sprite group. Then we would change the layer, which we don't need to do if we're on the server side. Only run for CS, not needed on SS. Or would say verified, only needs to be run on CS. Yeah, so we're just gonna copy this because that's what we're gonna be adding. So this is where it's created. So it's literally not even going to be created, because this is in the init, right? No, this isn't in the init. Yeah, it is. But how could it be? It's not in the init. Class game. Oh, it's before the initial. It's at the class level. Okay. Regardless, SS or CS would still be set. Well, of course it would be set, right? Yeah, because if we modify it from the server side prior to this being executed, and it's referencing the same object, which it should reference the same object. I'm quite certain it would. It's kind of complicated, but because technically in that interpreter session, change attribute list SSCS has already been imported, so it's already exists. So when we reference it here, it's just going to point to that object in memory. Pretty sure. I'm not like 1000% sure on that, but I should be. After as many times as I've dealt with this sort of thing, I should not even have any questions about it. But I'm basically like a goldfish. I don't really remember anything that I'm told, and it just goes in one ear, out of the other, and I have to do like a refresher on basically everything, like, you know, every so often. Alright, so why didn't I just paste in this? Because that's what I was supposed to do. Alright, so now we are this is in the init. This clears the screen. Yeah, so we only want to do this CS. So this is in progression text, and same thing for this. We would only want to do this for CS. Wait a second. Oh man. Okay, right here. If we run that for this, required on SS and CS, since SS modifies this adder. Wait, what? this. Do not remove. Required on SS and CS since SS modifies this adder. Like, what do I mean? What? This is not on the right spot. Like, I don't know how this got here, but it doesn't make sense at all, because if it's required on SS NCS, why would I put it on the line where I'm excluding the functionality only to CS? Man, just gotta do better, boys. That's really all it is. It's goddamn. Don't know how I made that. Like, what? What? So that's all we need to do, right? Or yeah, I had to just review. I wanted to make sure my indentation and all that was right, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, buddy. Okay. And then we need to also look for render. Make sure just to not be able to type, you know? It's not like you've been doing this for like 30 years, 25 years now. Dumbass, can't type. Okay, here we go. Current card in game, card sprite group, current card dirty. This only gets run if it's CS. Current card in game. Okay, so it's the same scenario as before. Just have to indent that. Of course, I lost my place. What is going on here? 882, 883. Yeah, that's right. That's the one we just changed. Alright, so here I just need to indent this. Why does it not keep it highlighted? Like when I just did what I did here. So this doesn't need SSCS check because it's only done draw window main. That's only done CS. Alright. Something here. Okay, so we need to only do this. We go. Well, needs to be run on CS. Alright, so now we modified all the card group stuff. So let's make sure we didn't let's just review real quick. CS is equal to CS. Cool, we did it. Alright, so now we're gonna test after what we did to make sure we didn't break anything. they both pick their cards. Any day now, boys. Any day now. Any day now it'll finish dealing the cards. Christ, man. Jesus. Lord have mercy on it. There we go. Whoa, man. Like watching paint dry, huh? Yeah. Smash the enter button. Smash it. 16 more minutes, guys. There we go. Okay, everything looks like it's working. Really don't want to sit through this, but we're gonna do it. Yeah, we said we're not using it, dude. Okay. That delay. I gotta change the delay from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. Or I gotta change it. Whatever it is, I gotta lower it. It's too much. I can't. I literally can't. I know I need it when it comes time to debugging it, but like, dude, I might have to just add in code, like, to change that value. You know what I mean? And it all references that same value, so I can just like change this in one little setup spot and it'll, you know, change the delay. I really need to consider doing that, like for real, for real. I think I'm gonna do that. Alright, so it worked. Everything worked. We didn't break it. Alright, cool. So we have 14 more minutes. Let's go back to our Pygame search, and we were in game, and we were working on well, we finished card sprite group, so that's done. Alright, so now we have Pygame mixer in it, and I mean, we're not gonna need Pygame mixer because like we literally just don't even need Pygame stuff on server side. So we will this right here, so I know exactly what I'm working on. Pygame.mixer current. If I could type, one day I'll learn how to type, guys. One day I'll figure it out. So Pygame mixer. In this, we don't have audio on server side, so paste that in, and there you go. Well, honestly, like, we don't need to run any of this on yeah, we don't need to run any of this on the server side. All this sound, none of it. We don't need any of it. None of this. All that, watch. Boom. There you go. Okay, so that was actually a big change. Well, I feel like that's probably gonna cause a bug. Almost certainly. "12 more minutes, dude. Almost there. Almost hit to our hour mark." I mean, I know it's so grueling to go through an hour of this, and it really is at this point. Dude, we entered the name. What's the hold up here? See how it says that for so long? Too long. The delay is too long. I'm changing it. Next session, I'm gonna change it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in my things here right now. Reduce delay time, because it just let's see. Need to change logic for 3-second delay for data application because it takes too long to test. We can change logic such that delay timer is a variable that is set in one place, like SS or CS is, and all references refer to that object. This will allow us to modify the delay time easily and in one place, depending on how long we need it to be. Yeah, great idea. And there's always more work to be done, isn't there? Alright, so they're gonna pick their card. We haven't thrown an error so far. Nine more minutes. Any day now, dude. Any day now, bro. It would have thrown a boat. It would have thrown the error by now. Alright, it worked. Cool. Alright. Same thing here. You ever like want something, you want to do something so bad, but then when you actually do it, you realize like you really didn't want to do that? Like, what's wrong with humans? Is this just me? Like, I will feel like I really want to do something, and then I'll go to do that thing, and I'm like, it's not what I wanted to do. Why did I do that? Like, what? Like, that was literally the opposite of what I wanted to do. Strange. Strange. Alright, 6 minutes left, so this will probably be the last one. Right here. And then we're gonna go to put in our devlog and stuff. Make the yeah, I would have thrown the error by now. So I don't even have to test any further. That's enough. Pass while loop. Okay, yeah, we don't need this anymore. Well, yeah, all this, well, we'll stop right here. So line 345 in game. So we're going to CD out to the root project directory to make sure everything gets committed. So we're going to do git branch, make sure we're on the right branch, which we are. Now we're going to do git add dot to add everything. We can ignore the LF warnings, git commit -m, double quotes, paste in our devlog, double quotes to commit. 13 files changed, 88 insertions, 75 deletions, so it's successfully committed. Now we're going to push to the remote repository. We'll do git push Canasta secondary, the repo, then the branch, Canasta, then secondary. Looks like it successfully did that. So now we're gonna go over here and we are going to programming projects Canasta. We're gonna copy this. We're gonna go to the Canasta backup. We're gonna delete it. Alright, now we're gonna paste this in, the new one. Then we're gonna enter into it. And go into text, devlog. We're gonna go all the way to the end. Make sure the date's correct. It is. We'll go back to the folder and change the date to be today's date, which is the last time it was backed up.